I was most known as the father of New France. I am Samuel de Champlain. I was born in 1567 in Bourges, France. There were many wars of religion. They were in France. The wars started in 1562 and ended in 1598. After the wars of religion ended, I had to find a new job. I went to my uncle. He worked on a ship called the St. Julien. My uncle got me a job on board the ship, and so as a young man, I was on my way to Spain. In the late 1500s, Spain had many new settlements in North and South America. Shortly after the St. Julien arrived, it joined a fleet of ships that were already visiting those places. My shipmates and I stayed in Spain for more than 2 years, finally went back to France. King Henry was happy with me and asked me to join a group. I was thrilled to be a part of the trip. One of the people in the group was Francois Pointgrave. Francois Pointgrave and I became great friends. Francois Pointgrave and I were going on a voyage to Canada. On May 27, 1603, Pointgrave and I landed on Tahasca on the St. Lawrence River. This is where the French fur traders came every summer. The Algonquin Indians were happy to see French explorers and invited us to meet their chief. Francois and I promised the Algonquin Indians that if there was a war against the Iroquois, that Francois and I would fight with that or alongside the Algonquin Indians. After the agreement, Francois and I explored further up the river. Before we reached what is now Montreal, we came to a stretch of water called the Lanchin Rapids. The Lanchin Rapids were so dangerous that we decided to turn back. By fall of 1603, my companions and I were on our way back to France. Our Canadian trip had been a great success. Our ship carried a valuable load of furs, and we found native people who agreed to trade with us over long periods of time. He was pleased when he heard about my report about my travels. He allowed me to publish my story. I wanted to return to Canada, and I soon had my chance. Pierre Gua, who was also known as Sieur de Monts, was a close friend of the king. He offered to pay for another trip to Canada. In return, de Monts would receive part of the money that came from the fur trade there. Monts also hoped to start a permanent French colony in Canada. He hired me to explore the coast and make maps. My friend Francois Pointgrave was hired in command of the ship. Our group set out in spring 1604. In 1610, I got married to Helen Bull. She went to Canada with me and was very unhappy and went back to France. I died on Christmas Day, or December 25th, 1635 in Quebec. Thank you for listening to my lifetime story. I hope you learned a lot about me and the other people in my life. If you want to know more about me, you can look in my book, The Travels of Samuel de Champlain.